Welcome back, everyone, to the Queen of TV channel. Now, some quick things before we get into our intro. Yet again, I want to welcome the two new subscribers to the channel. Also, there will be cursing and profane. If that's not your cup of tea, this channel's not for you. Now, our intro. Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, the Queen herself, and you are the Prince and Princesses. You're either a subscriber or you are a viewer. Either way, welcome. Today, we are going to do the character analysis, in my opinion, on how I feel about them. Now we're talking about the heroes. We finished the villains, we finished the characters that didn't have enough scenes, and we smushed them into one video. Now we're going to talk about the good guys. And the first person we're going to talk about is Emma Gilbert. Considering that Emma left in season 2 after it ended, out of respect, we're going to speak about her first. And she was the first person that actually appeared on screen. We saw her just dive in the water. So, like all the others, like we did with the villains, like we did with the other characters, now we're going to do the same thing for Emma. We're going to talk about her character development, her personality, if she has a story outside of other characters, her behavior, her relationships, and if her style mirrors that of the character. There is a video from the H2O YouTube channel that I am going to actually link into the description bio so that way you can watch that video for yourself. So let's get right into it. Character development. When we meet Emma, she is a go-getter. She is all about the swim team. She has these plans. She is ready to make it to regionals. Well, that all changes when she becomes a mermaid. Not only has she had to give up her dream, but we see that Emma tries to have some type of stability and control now that this mermaid business has taken over. We see Emma show signs of being a control freak, a person that does not handle conflict well, and let alone is not okay in stressful situations. We see her be inconsiderate at times. We see her be harsh at times. But other times she is very supportive. You understand where she's coming from. She even backs up her friends when they need her. So Emma goes from being this know-it-all control freak who wants things done so that way they can live some semblance of a normal life and try to control the group, into a powerful mermaid who not only will fight for the death to protect Mako Island, but will protect her friends at all costs and will not run from a fight. But the end of season 1 came with some heavy repercussions. Now, those repercussions that I am referring to are season 1, because now in season 2, Emma and them seem to be starting off very chilled back and relaxed, but at the same time, Emma is still paranoid after the events that happened in season 1. She doesn't want to trust Zane, and doesn't trust Zane until she ends up having no choice. And once they get their new powers, things even get even more complicated. And Emma agrees with Lewis about them having some semblance of control. But she breaks that promise when her brother needs her the most. We see Emma take a back burner this season where she isn't too much involved, but she's around when the story calls for it or when the show puts her in situations that require her own storyline and outlook on situations that she has to deal with. We see her enter into a first real relationship since Byron in season 1 with Ash, a guy that rivals her personality. Someone who apparently is a tough cookie to crack. And as a result, Emma ends up gaining some type of respect for him, admiration, and she falls in love with him and they begin dating. She started off season 2 in a state of paranoia where she's very untrusting and has severe trust issues. to ending season 2 with her being willing to not be vulnerable, having to open up to herself, and she was able to share her secret, being a lot stronger, being more mindful of her actions, and even going as far as to no longer fearing herself as a mermaid or the mermaid secret anymore. So that's the end of Emma. She leaves and we don't see her again. She's only mentioned one time in season 3, and that's it. Because all we know is that she is going around the world with her parents. So let's look at her character development. Emma obviously is a control freak. She likes control. She likes making rules. So when those rules get broken, she lashes out, she complains, she tries to do damage control. She does not allow herself to be vulnerable. She can't help being vulnerable because she doesn't want to get hurt. She tries to act all tough when in reality she is easily hurt, like Ricky is for that matter. She tries to open herself up to Byron, but that doesn't work out, and she ends up ending the show even before the finale with no relationship partner. While Cleo and Ricky have one, Emma is just by herself, figuring things out. She learns how to be less controlling, willing to listen, and how to communicate better rather than trying to analyze everything and try to make sure things go in a specific sort of order. She stops organizing everything and she ends her organization path. She ends up being now placed in a narrative where she has the opportunity to be vulnerable, to open up, to have a redo chance at love. Especially when she's dealing with someone like Charlotte. Charlotte ends up becoming a learning curve that those who you do not see as a potential threat, those you perceive as victims or people who are very nice, turn out to be wolves in sheep's clothing. And she learns not to be so naive and to tiptoe around issues when they can be lifely dangerous. Emma is worried that their secret could be exposed, but she thinks that Charlotte is very harmless. She missed all the signs and all of the red flags. She tries to mediate things when Charlotte becomes a mermaid and thinks that by um, helping Charlotte, that it's less likely that Charlotte will get in trouble and the secret get exposed, and that she might need a couple of friends and they might as well welcome her into the group. Trying to be too trusting, letting her naivety and her vulnerability get in the way of the right thing. She is doing the right thing, but at the same time, she's not understanding how this affects everyone. So she has to learn that as well. That it's okay to be trusting, it's okay to be vulnerable, but being too trusting and too vulnerable is not the way to go. But Ilma does in season 2 and H2O in itself with her head held high, new opportunities, a new broadened idea of the world, a lot more calmer, and a lot more set in stone about what she wants and how to get it, and happier in her relationship romantically and in her friendships. So let's talk about Emma's personality. Emma's personality is literally a perfectionist. And by the end of season 1, she stops being a perfectionist. She starts acting like a actual leader. When season 2 comes in and throws a big curveball with their new powers, she stays in trying to be a leader and trying to get the group out of trouble. She sometimes does slip up and get her own self in trouble and has to be humbled, but she's able to pick herself up and dust off and actually show that she is a true leader. Her leadership sometimes take the left approach, but she ends up finding herself how to manage everything, and how she just wants to lead, and how things are to be handled and done without any friction or pushback. So her personality does get better. She does become a lot softer. She becomes romantic. She becomes understanding. She starts to grow as a person. What are you doing? Get out, fat. Shut my door. Now let's talk about, does she have a story outside the other characters? Absolutely. Her battling her controlling issues, this perfectionist complex that she has, her actually growing to her own person and learning how to be vulnerable and trusting people and opening up for that matter makes a good story. Get out. Shut my door. So she does have a story outside of Cleo, outside of Ricky, outside of Ash and Byron and Lewis. So yes, she does have a story. It is a very good story. It's good to see her grow and be able to get her own little redemption arc when starting off to be unlikable. Now there's still a lot of fans that still do not like Emma because they do not notice her growth, let alone they do not pay attention to it. But once you actually pay attention to her growth, you realize that Emma has changed and she is a different, complete person. Now, that brings us to her behavior. Now, Emma has her moments where she behaves badly, but she takes accountability for when she does behave badly and in her own way tries to apologize. Even though I did say in episode 15, I don't think that I would have took her apology if she just bought me a bunch of tickets, but I'm glad that she did actually acknowledge that she was wrong and Ricky shouldn't have not gotten herself fired. So Emma, from very early on before season 2, learned how to check her behaviors, and though her behavior is awful at times, most of the time Emma's behavior makes sense, especially once you look at her family life and you assess the situation at hand. Emma is just doing what's best for everyone else. She's not doing this to be harmful. She's not doing this to prove a point. She's not doing this to show that she's better than everybody. She's doing this because she generally does care. So, what about her relationships? Her relationships with everyone separately. With her parents and her brother, she obviously has a typical family relationship. They even have a set of rules, and one of them is that they do not lie to each other. There's complete honesty and loyalty in her family. So that's why it's very hard for her when she has to keep such a secret about being a mermaid because she fears of how they would react. Her relationship with Cleo is like that. Cleo is her little sister and she's Cleo's big sister. So they have a sister relationship with one another. And it's very wholesome and it's very sweet. We see them sometimes bicker, but most of the time we see them support each other through thick and thin. And they're always together no matter what. That brings us to Emma and Ricky. Their relationship is a typical just friends type relationship. They may not be best friends, but you can tell that they are friends. And that through Ricky, Emma starts learning things about herself and actually wants to open up and show signs that she wants to change, because she doesn't want to be compared to Ricky as in a negative way, that Ricky is good and that she's the one that's bad. So she wants to prove that she can change for the better. See, even at times when she does things to Ricky that could be hurtful, she apologizes to Ricky. Me and meaning it too. Now, her relationship with Lewis is that two good minds think alike. They both are thinkers. They both are strategist people. They actually analyze things and want organization. They want understanding of what's happening. So they seem as if they're not like best friends, but they seem that they are equals. They may not realize that they are equals, but the two of them are equals. That brings us to her relationship with Byron. I think with Byron, it was a honeymoon phase, sweet teen dream type of love relationship. It wasn't general, she was in love with him. It was just a simple crush that she did get over, and they just remained friends. Now, her relationship with Ash is a challenging one. Like, he challenges her. He is the reason that she soon become vulnerable, makes her like come out of her shell and try to live her best life. And it results in her actually learning how to be vulnerable and to be trusting and to let her guard down. So it does benefit her into changing, and actually gives her a new perspective on what love is and its relationship value. That brings us to the next one. Does her clothing style reflect her personality? Now, I'm not going to talk about her colors because it's obvious in the H2O Just Add Water video. So basically, what they said is her colors are yellow, blue, and white. And what I can assess from them colors is that when Emma's wearing blue, that is when Emma is in her element. That's when she's in her control stage. That's when she is confident, calm, and collective, and literally and generally leading the group. Now, when Emma wears white, it means that she is pure, she is calm, she's well put together, she is more with go with the flow and actually more opening. With yellow, yellow is supposed to be associated with a deceiving color. So it makes sense that she wears yellow from time to time, especially when she talks to Ash, because she is deceiving him about who she is and she's a mermaid. She wore yellow when she went to tell him, completely acknowledging the fact that she's no longer willing to keep lying to him and is fully ready to show him her secret. So, with all that being said, put together, how do I feel about Emma? It is no brainer, okay? I love Emma. Yes, Emma has her moments where she too can piss me off, but I love Emma and I love her characteristics. Like, she knocks everything out of the park, just like all the next upcoming characters, because Emma is just herself. Emma is a person that wants normalcy, she wants stability, she wants to ensure that her life plans out the way she does. She had to sacrifice her dreams. She had to sacrifice a lot of things that she used to do with her family just to try to contain her secret. And as sad as it is that she does not tell her family, it is good to note that Emma has tried and she has divided and have conquered. She has grown and changed as a human being and has become a better mermaid for it. Now, I know a lot of you miss Emma and will probably miss me talking about Emma in season 3. If you are a fan of Emma, let me know down in the comments, what was your favorite Emma outfit? What was your favorite Emma power moment from seasons 1 and 2? What was your favorite moment with each individual character that she actually came in contact with? That meaning the Cleo, Emma, Ricky, Lewis, Kim, Elliot, her parents, Emma, and not only Emma's parents, but like Cleo and Ricky's parents, even Lewis's family, Charlotte, like every single character in the show. What was your favorite moment from her when she apparently was face to face with them in their respective seasons? So, getting to that point where I want to just not crash out, but like crash out, freak out, but like crash out, lay down. But that's all I got for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know why I've never said this in none of the videos I just done, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if no one has told you this today, I'm telling you, I love you. I will see you in the next video. So until then, bye guys.